And here we can see it in the top right-hand corner of Cloud Kingdom, the blue Terran player. It is Complexity QXC.
You messed that up.
I had no idea where you wanted me to go with that.
You were supposed to go with my offbeat.
Right now we can see Kingston HyperX sponsoring this match. Thank you, Kingston HyperX, for your full line of SSDs and RAM for supporting the North American Star League. Down in the bottom left-hand corner of Cloud Kingdom, one Liquid Sheth.
And now keep in mind, guys, if you want to participate in this King of the Hill, in the Gauntlet, you have to stay in chat.
Yep, join us in chat. The way this works is really quite simple. As this game is being played out, our admins will select a player for game number 2, and so forth and so on. So in game number 4, our admins will select a player for game number 5. And that's just how it's going to roll. Cloud Kingdom is the map. Andre, I really hope we get to cast a ZVP on Cloud Kingdom because I've got a funny ZVP story. But the story is going to have to wait for another time.
Wait. You have a funny ZVP story on Cloud Kingdom?
Yes.
Don't we have ZVP?
Not right now.
Oh, wait a minute.
This is ZVT.
Okay, I'm going out of my mind.
Going out of your mind.
I'll get there. Let's talk about ZVT right now in Cloud Kingdom.
Let's do it.
You know, I feel like Terrans are still at a little bit of a struggle in this matchup. And I know QXC has been one of those players that's been very innovative. I think he's one of the first people that came out with the bunker right below that ramp.
Creep denial bunker, the QXC bunker. I can remember the first time I saw him do that in a broadcasted match. I was like, what the hell is he doing? This is so silly. This is so... Oh.
That's so sick.
When it all clicked, and I was like, that's actually brilliant. And QXC called me out for that because he's like, I watched your cast of that game. And I was like, I'm sorry, Kevin. I just didn't know.
Never doubt Kevin, man.
I should know better than to doubt.
He's a clever guy. It's like Data and Cats, man. Cats never all ins.
No, that's true. Cats never all ins. Cats always has a follow-up to his cheese.
He does. He actually does. All right, so the big problem these days hasn't really been, I would say, the queen as much as the creep spread and the power of the injects. You know, the queen really gave the ability to defend a little bit easier, but what people have been worried about is just now that the queen is out, how do I actually deal with this massive creep spread and all the units that they have a little bit prematurely? Yeah,
we've reached a point in the meta game where the game, it's grown beyond 1 base, 2 base, or even 3 base. And the question now becomes, how the hell do I secure a 4th base? And when Zerg has covered the entire map in creep well before the point where you want to lay down that 4th base, it complicates things substantially because you have to deal with that creep, and to do that you have to commit units, and to do that you have to be able to challenge the Zerg out on the map somewhere.
Yeah. Now we do see QXC going for what looks to be some sort of Hellion Banshee. Normally getting 2 really quick refineries does kind of symbolize that, as we can already see the reactor and the factory going down. Now the big question is, what do you need all this gas for? Well, he's going to continue his tech and try to actually control the creep via Hellions and Banshees. It's really, really good, although there are some styles where you actually don't get a quick gas and you just go a crap load of queens, and with all those queens you can actually defend really, really efficiently.
I like this bunker placement that we're seeing in the natural of QXC. Sticking that bunker in the back there, that's going to cover his natural kinda, but it really, what it really does is cover that ramp there. So if Zerglings try to run by, QXC is just going to raise those depots, and then the Marines inside that bunker are going to make short work of those links. A really cute placement there. Sheth, in the meantime, is droning very hard. He's already overtaken QXC in the worker count, 36 drones to 26, and he's still adding more. Wants to put down a 3rd base. QXC sees this. He'll deny it for as long as he can, but eventually that SCV is going to have to vacate, and now we can see it already saying, you know what, I'm just gonna get the hell out of Dodge.
Yep, and the hatch rate does go down. You can see, let's look at the gas count. He's just now starting to mine gas. And I wouldn't be surprised if we had a lot more queens coming out. Now, right now we have 4 total queens. This is kind of the standard, as queens have just become such an instrumental role as they are independent of larva. They can be used as a really great defense. On top of that, they attack ground and air. So they're all overall really, really good. It just delays your gas, which delays your tech quite substantially.
You can see QXC is investing in Cloak, Andre, and Sheth as of... Okay, there's that first couple Evo chambers going down. So this will open up the Spore Crawler for him, which does provide some of that very necessary detection which is, of course, instrumental in defending these Cloak Banshees. But the real question is, will he recognize that Cloak is inside the range of possibilities for QXC, and will he prepare for it, or is he just going to continue playing pretty blind?
He should actually see this coming, because he saw the double gas go down. He gets a good gas count, and he's saying, okay, what do you need that much gas for? You're not going to do a siege tank build because I already saw Hellions come out. You're probably not going to go a stim build because a lot of the builds that are worked in, you can't really get the factory and the Hellions out that fast while doing like stim builds. So it's most likely going to be a Banshee. He should be able to take the reads from those two gases and say, okay, I need to put about 3 Spore Crawlers down to sufficiently defend all of my places.
Baneling Nest also going down for Sheth as he's gearing up for one of these mid-games where Terran players are often not giving much consideration to the siege tank. We can see that QXC does have a tech lab on his factory, so if he wanted to produce tanks, he could, but he's going to have to be very mindful of the possibility for this mass baneling play from Sheth.
Yeah, I really like how KoTH is actually continuing this, just making sure he's maintaining his opponent's creep, you know, kind of forcing him to make a lot more units that he wants to, and then just macroing directly behind this. Income tab is showing 49 to 43. KoTH is actually keeping up with drones, SCVs very, very well. And with the 3rd command center already finished, the orbital command center in production right now, I think just transitioning into a macro game is perfect. He did something that I think a lot of Terrans have been, you know, kind of getting used to, which is doing this crushing blow to the 3rd base. You don't need to do that in this matchup.
And Sheth, we can see, is already prepared to deal with these Banshees. He's got that single Spore Crawler out. His lair is not even... Oh, no, it's complete, so we can make Overseers as well. So these Queens should eventually be able to deal with the Banshees, although he's not handling this perfectly. Nice transfusions going down there as these Banshees are going to continue to pick off drones and just be annoying. We can see no effort out of Sheth to reposition that Spore Crawler. And only now starting an Overseer, starting that over in the back of his main. So he's going to take some damage in his natural, but still, he's going to be able to stabilize eventually.
Yeah, and you can really see the reliance on mass queens being abused right here. Because the lair is, you know, so far away, he wasn't able to get the Overseer. And look at this, QXC with his patented micro is now going to go into the main here. And there's only 1 queen over here. This queen will go down. He will not be able to save it. And more damage is coming out. QXC doing amazing damage, just 2 Cloak Banshees.
Gotta be so careful with these Spore Crawlers and with detection everywhere. These Banshees are a little bit trapped. Sheth, though, looks like he's left a small opening in the bottom left, but no, great control there. Picks off 1 Banshee. The second Banshee will take additional damage before she does manage to sneak away. Now, what is QXC doing behind this, Andre? He's securing that 3rd base. He's got a lot of barracks down, actually a ton of barracks. He's producing lots and lots of Marines. He's also beginning to produce siege tanks. But, you know, while he did damage, was it really enough? 15 drone kills for 2 Cloaked Banshees?
I would say.
That's good damage. Is it good enough?
I think so. I think he's actually nicely ahead in this position because really Zerg want to be around 70 Harvesters in this position. That's how you know they have like a really nice advantage. They should be around 60 to go even. But now, look at this. Cleaning up the Hellions actually helps out quite a bit. This 3rd base is going to be under attack. There are 2 siege tanks on the high ground. That'll help out a lot. But maybe Liquid Sheth wants to actually suicide some of Zerglings in to kill those mules. That's, you know, hard to tell if that's going to be worth it.
In fact, it looks like Sheth's just going to back off, not really willing to commit those units. Dropping a Spire, also getting Burrow and Baneling speed. And one thing that is characteristic of Sheth's play that I love so much is the way that he will use Burrow with his Banelings. So he'll run around the Terran player, burrow a couple Banelings in like the defending path, like you have to go back to your base to save it, and then he will get these massive Baneling detonations. It'd be really cool if we could see some of that here against QXC.
I think he definitely needs something right now. He needs to make something happen because QXC, I mean, he has perfect upgrades. Look at that, 2-2 on the way. And yes, it's a little bit behind Sheth, but the main thing is that he has that timing. Since QXC has a great economy over his opponent, he actually has a great 2-2 timing that he can take advantage of. He's just trying to poke right now to get rid of creep. This army shouldn't actually look to engage front on front with his opponent's army. And he's doing a great job just trying to go around the creep and just pick him off 1 by 1.
Yeah, first infestors are popping out now for Sheth, and with them, that should really shore up his defenses. It's going to be much harder for QXC to attack into Sheth, although QXC's supply has just skyrocketed. 161 supply against only 140 for Sheth. And while this first little poke, this first little group of units does not look all that ominous, you have to be thinking, hey, when QXC maxes out, how in the world is Sheth going to deal with that?
Yeah, and that's the big problem. That's why QXC, I think, is doing this all right. And it looks like, just barely.
Oh, he's even going to get an infestor. Oh, Sheth, that's a very painful loss.
Very
Beautiful
nicely.
play here from QXC. And this medevac will get away.
In the meantime, Sheth is taking another base in the left-hand position, but as you said it, Ben, I mean, how does he actually defend against this incoming 2-2 push? And you can see 2-2 is finished now. One thing, if I want to be super critical on QXC, is that his siege tank count is kind of small. That lends, you know, Roach, Zergling, Baneling, Infestor to have a little bit more powerful, you know, damage magnitude.
Oops, sorry about that.
It's a little bit more powerful against this composition with the small siege tank count. So we'll see. It's all going to be engagement, how they engage this battle. That's
absolutely right. But as we can also see, Sheth has not really added anything with real meat to it. There are no Roaches in this army. There are no Ultralisks. He's going straight up to Broodlord. His Greater Spire is not done, and the push of QXC is coming. Andre, this is a terrifying push. We've got a maxed out Terran against a 150th supply Zerg player who doesn't really have the money, who doesn't really have the means to come up with an answer. Sheth has to have the best engagement possible if he's going to live to the late game.
He can't engage right here. What he's trying to do is just buy as much time until Broodlords come out. Really nice if he can get all these medevacs. He needs a big fungal. Corruptor is going to just tear them apart now. Oh my gosh, he needs that continuation fungal, but still killing a ton of medevacs, and that actually weakens QXC quite substantially. He can't keep doing these engagements anymore.
It does weaken QXC a lot, but Sheth has also taken some damage here. His macro perhaps slipping a little bit. He's got 2,000 minerals, no gas, because he's spending it all on Broodlords and Corruptors. But here comes QXC. Tanks are going to siege up. There's a lot of Marines here. These Broods are just seconds away from completion. They're going to be so instrumental in Sheth's defense, but it doesn't look like he's got the energy on the Infestors, and the Marines are here. Good Baneling connections, but it does not look to be enough. The Broodlords will fall, and QXC looks like his time in the Complexity House has been paying off, crushing the third base of Sheth and looking very strong in this first game.
This is beautiful. Sheth trying to do a premature hive tech with only Zergling, Baneling, and Infestors. As you said it, you need more meat if you're going to do that. You need something like Roaches. You need more Infestors, or you need to be able to clear up your opponent's base. But this 2-2 timing is going to hit right when Broodlords are coming out. That means all this investment goes into something you don't have, and that's why QXC was able to just clean up. Look at this. The same army is able to do just so much damage, cleaning up the other expansion in the left-hand corner. This is QXC looks phenomenal. You're absolutely right.
Beautiful textbook play from QXC. Cleans up the third. Also splitting up some units and taking out that fourth base as well. Sheth is reeling right now with just 2 bases, and really only one of them is mining. He's got some Broodlords out, Andre, which means he will be able to force QXC back for the time being. But I mean, ultimately, what can he do? QXC's got his third, he's got his fourth, he's got a 5th command center completing. This is the best position possible.
You're absolutely right. I mean, QXC is just pushing in. There's so much that he has. His macro 189 supply to just a measly 111. There's not much Sheth can do from here. Look at this, even taking out the third yet again with a medevac and 2 siege tanks. How many times do you see that? That's like StarCraft 1-esque.
Man, these 2 tanks, they're like Reavers, Andre. The Corruptors can't deal with them. The Broodlords will be able to... Oh, no, actually, the Corruptors can deal with them if they're inside the medevac. I spoke too soon. That is the last place you want to be when you're fighting against Corruptors.
Yeah. And in this position, I mean, QXC is just going to continue on his advantage, just slightly lean on his opponent, and he should be able to crumble. You know, Sheth is going to give his best efforts right now. He only has a couple of Broodlords, though, and a single Infestor. That Infestor really is not going to do enough. There's just so much stuff here, and with Vikings on the ground, you're going to see a GG coming out from Sheth pretty soon here.
Yeah, Sheth lands an okay fungal, but what does it really do for him? Not much. No units actually died there. He's going to hang in there, never give up, never surrender, but QXC is maxed out. He has bases all over the place, and Sheth just doesn't have the means, Andre. Stemmed Bio going to roll into this third, takes out the base, and Sheth says, GG, we have a king. The Gauntlet. The Gauntlet has been passed.
Well, not passed.
Well, Taken? Claimed?
Claimed.
QXC has claimed the gauntlet?
Awarded.
Earned.
Earned.
He has earned the gauntlet.
Earned.
Through that excellent piece of gameplay. All right, so great play from QXC. We already know his next opponent.
Who is that? I don't know who his next opponent is.
His first name is Payam.
Payam Toyam?
Yes!
It is the root member TT1. I cannot believe that TT1 made it. But, yeah, congratulations to him.
A little TVP action coming up, guys. Before that, we're going to play a short commercial. Stick around. Game number 2, QXC versus TT1, when we return.